Hello students of class 10. Welcome back to Indrani ma'am's biology class once again. In our last class we have completed the portion of heredity and evolution. So this time today I will give you some questions and I will discuss some answers. You will write these question answers in your biology classwork copy. So the first question which comes is, does all variation survive? What will be the answer? You have to write it. Still then I am discussing some points. You have to arrange it. You have to collect the answers from your book and note down in your biology classwork copy. So does all variation survive? What do you think? No. Why? That also you have to write. Depending upon the nature of variation, different individual would have different kind of advantages. Environmental factor act on these variants, and the variant more suited to the existing environment would survive. So we can say that all variations does not survive, right? Our next question which comes is, how does asexually reproducing organisms produce variations among their progeny? Explain giving example. So how you will write the answer? So first you have to write how the asexually reproducing organisms produce variations among their progeny. So in asexually reproducing organisms, what happens? The variation occurs due to inaccuracies in DNA copying at the time of nuclear division. For example, what happens? One bacterium divides. It will give rise to two bacteria. These daughter bacteria would be similar in body design but with subtle differences. So what will happen? The resultant bacteria will divide again and each bacterium will give rise to two bacteria in the next generation. That is, there would be 4 individuals. In the bottom row, that is the 4 individuals will be different from each other. They may have differences in 2 types. First will be some of the unique type of differences and the differences which is inherited from the respective parents who are different from each other. So you have to write in this type. Next question, define heredity. I think you know this answer. The process by which the traits and the characteristics are reliably inherited or passed from the parents to the offspring is called heredity. You know this answer. Next question is, what is Mendel's law of inheritance? So here you have to write all the 3 laws: law of dominance, law of segregation and law of independent assortment. All these 3 you have to write. Our next question which comes is, define genetics. So what is genetics? The branch of biology which deals with heredity and variations is known as genetics. Next, write the expanded form of DNA. You all know, deoxyribonucleic acid. Next question, how does a trait get expressed? How does a trait get expressed? You have to write it. How you will write the answer? A trait in an organism, you know, it results from the action of protein or proteins which is manufactured by a gene, and each protein is made by information from the genes for that protein. In the example of pea plant, if you see, there are 2 genes for plant height. One is capital T, another is small t. Capital T is dominant over small t. In a heterozygous plant which is having capital T and small t, what happens? The gene capital T will be able to make protein as it is dominant over the small t gene, and this protein would be the growth hormone which will result in the plant being tall. So you have to express this answer. Next question, how is sex determined in animals? Now you know, different species use very different strategies for determination of sex of newborn individual. Some animals rely on environmental cue, the temperature at which the fertilized eggs are kept. It determines the sex of the newborn. In other animals such as snails, what happens? The individuals can change sex, indicating that sex is not genetically determined. In human beings, how it is determined? It is determined genetically. So you have to write the answer by taking these points. Next question, what is gene? Gene is a function state segment of DNA on a chromosome occupying specific positions which carries out a specific biology function. I think you know this answer. Our next question which follows, very easy. Name the plant on which Mendel performed his experiments. You all know he used garden pea for his experiments. Next question, define the term variation and acquired variations. So you have to write in 2 points. Don't mix up together. Make 2 paragraphs for writing. Variation definition you write, then you write acquired variation. So variation, what is that? These are the differences in structure, function, behavior and genetic makeup of different individuals of the same parentage, variety, race and species. And what is acquired variation? They are somatic variations which develop in the lifetime of an individual, and acquired variations are usually inheritable and die with the death of the individual. Understood? So arrange this together and make up the answer. Next question, define F1 and F2 generation. F1 generation, what is that? It is the generation of hybrids derived from a cross between 2 genetically different homozygous individuals. And what is F2 generation? It is the generation produced as a result of interbreeding between individuals of F1 generation. Understood? Our next question which comes is, define the term offspring. Offspring, what is that? It is an individual formed as a result of sexual reproduction involving the formation and fusion of 2 gametes. The genotype of an offspring is different from either of an offspring. That is different from either of the parents also due to shuffling of chromosomes and their genes. Next question, what are reciprocal crosses? They are the 2 types of crosses involving 2 groups of individuals where the male of one group is crossed with the female of the other and vice versa. Our next question is, explain the terms monohybrid cross, number 2 dihybrid cross, number 3 monohybrid ratio and number 4 dihybrid ratio. You have to write these answers. These are very easy, so I am not discussing. These all are given in your book. Next question, state Mendel's law of segregation and number B, law of independent assortment. This all you know. Next question, why did Mendel choose garden pea for his experiments? How did he make sure that the parent plants were true breeding? Now, why did Mendel choose garden pea? Due to the following reason. First is, garden pea flowers are normally self-pollinated but can be easily cross-pollinated. Its self-pollination is prevented. It can be prevented. Next point, you can write many varieties with distinguishing contrasting characters. Example, smooth seed coat, wrinkled seed coat. These are present in the pea plant. Third point, you can write a large number of progeny can be produced within a very short duration of time. Next point, you can write its flower can be easily handled for experimentation. It is very easy to grow. These are different points you can write. Now, how did he make sure that the parent plants were true breeding? Making of true breeding species, he used self-pollinated. He self-pollinated the pea plants for several successive generations of each variety to eliminate any offspring that was not true in the form of the trait. This is the first point you can write. Second point you can write, he ensured that the seeds of a variety produced that not only that type of plants were not that type of plants only. For example, the seeds of white flower plant produced only white flower plants in the same successive generations. So you can use these points for writing. These all questions are given in your book. Only you have to read and find out the answers. Next question, why Mendel was crowned with success in his experiments whereas his predecessors failed? Now, what are the reasons? First, he had the knowledge of science and maths. Number 2, Mendel conducted his experiments by considering the inheritance only for a few pairs of characters at a time. Third, his work was methodological. Fourth, he selected pea plant having many contrasting characters. Luckily, they did not show incomplete dominance or linkage. Fifth point you can write, he gathered dates statistically and then analyzed. He used law of probability in analyzing experimental data. So you can write these points in your answer. Next question comes is, differentiate between dominant and recessive trait. Very easy. And number B, gene control trait. Explain this statement with an example. So the trait, although you know this answer, still then I am discussing. The trait which is expressed in F1 generation, you know it's called dominant trait. and the trait which remains hidden in presence of dominant trait is called recessive trait. Recessive trait is never expressed in presence of dominant trait. And genes control trait, this term you are acquainted with. Now why gene control trait? These genes produce particular protein which produce particular enzyme. For example, tallness trait in a pea plant. The tallness of the plant, what does it depend on? It depends upon the amount of a particular hormone produced. For these related enzymes is necessary, which depends upon the genes. So we can say that the genes control traits. Understood? So next question, define genetics. What is the contribution of Mendel in the branch of biology? Here Mendel spelling, there is a printing error. It will be MENDEL. Just correct it. So define genetics, you know. Now a second part I am discussing what is the contribution of Mendel in the branch of biology. The contribution of Mendel, how did he contribute? Mendel did his experiments on garden pea and discovered the scientific experiments, or he discovered the scientific characteristics or scientific principles which govern the principles of inheritance. The principle of inheritance, he explained the contrasting characters, and these are controlled by units which he called factors. Today these factors are known as genes. Understood? So coagulate these points and make out your answer. Where are the genes located? What is the chemical nature of genes? Where is the genes located? Genes are located at a specific position on a chromosome. And what is the chemical nature of the genes? Chemical nature of the genes, the gene, you know, it's a segment of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, which consists of specific sequence of the nucleotide, and the sequence of the constituent nucleotide determine the functional property of a gene. So in that way the chemical nature of the gene is controlled. Next question, why parents genetically are identical? Why parents genetically to their progeny? What parents genetically to their progeny? Means both the parents contribute equally to the DNA of progeny during actual reproduction. In order to determine the traits in the progeny, both parents must contribute a copy of the same gene. It means what? That each parents, they have two seeds of all the genes, one inherited from each parent, and this mechanism will indicate that each germ cell must have any one gene set within the organism. Understood? Next question, what are sex chromosomes? Which chromosomes are found in male and female human being? State the chromosome responsible for development of male child in human being. I think you know this answer. Till then I am discussing how you will write. The chromosomes which are related to determination of sex of a newborn baby are called the sex chromosomes. You all know it. Male human being have a pair of sex chromosomes, X chromosome and another one known as Y. So thus in male human being XY chromosomes are present, and human female, they have a perfect pair of sex chromosome, both called XX, both are capital X. A child who will inherit a Y chromosome from father will be a boy. So you have to describe this answer. Next question, explain whether the traits like eye color or height is genetically inherited or not. Do power to lift weight, it will be lift weight, not left. LIFT, lift weight and reading French also belong to same category. Justify your answer. So you have to find out this answer. But how we will write, I am just discussing. Don't copy it, I am just making you understand how you will write the answer. The eye color, you know, or the height traits cannot be changed or acquired in the lifetime because they are controlled by genes which are individual inherit from his or her parents. So such traits are genetically inherited and are transmitted one generation to the next generation. The power to lift weight and read French can be acquired during lifetime by practicing. Such acquired traits does not change, but it does not change from one individual to another. So these changes are non-reproductive tissues and cannot be passed to the progeny. So these are not genetically inherited. So I think you have understood the point how you are supposed to write the answers. I am not telling you the answers, these are not the answers. I am just discussing the points how you will write the answer. Okay. Our next question, which of the following traits cannot be passed on to the progeny? Justify your answer. Rudimentary eyes of planaria, absence of tail of a mouse, low weight of a starving beetle. Now which traits cannot pass on to the progeny? Absence of tail in a mice and low weight of a starving beetle. These two cannot pass on the progeny. Why? Because these traits are non-reproductive tissue and they do not cause changes in genes of the germ cell. Rudimentary eyes of planaria is due to the gene of the germ cell which is transmitted from generation to generation. So that will be passed on to the progeny. So absence of tail and low weight of starving beetle are the traits which cannot pass on to the progeny. Understood? Now by next question, by carrying out experiment with two different traits in a pea plant, what will Mendel conclude regarding the inheritance? Mendel concluded after carrying out experiments with two different traits pea plant that traits are independently inherited. That's why the inheritance of a pair of factors is independent of the other pairs of factors. So you have to arrange this answer properly. I am telling only the points how you will find the answer. Next question, the genotype of green stemmed tomato plant is denoting as capital G and that of purple stemmed tomato plant as capital G small g. When these two are crossed, number 1, what color of stem would you expect in their F1 progeny? Number 2, give the percentage of purple stemmed plant if F1 plant are self-pollinated. Number 3, in what ratio would you find the genotype to capital G and capital G small g in F2 progeny? So, first one, what will be color of stem would you expect in the F1 progeny? First one will be green. Why? Because capital G denotes the dominant gene and is expressed in all plants of F1 generation. Number 2, percentage of purple stem plant, it will be 25% in F2 generation raised by pollinating F1 plants. Number 3, in what ratio would you find the genotype capital G and small g small g? Capital G will be 25% and capital G small g will be 50%. So ratio will be 1:2 in F2 progeny. Understood? Next question. A cross was carried out between a pure breed tall plant and pure breed dwarf plant, and F1 progeny was obtained. Later the F1 progeny was served to obtain F2 progeny. Answer the following question. What is the phenotype of F1 progeny? What will be the phenotype of the F1 progeny and why? F1 progeny were all tall plants, you see. Why? Because the gene dwarfness is recessive. Its genome would be capital T and small t, all tall due to the presence of capital T dominant gene. Number B, give the phenotypic ratio of the F2 progeny. A phenotypic ratio F2 progeny will be 3:1. Why? 3 will be tall and 1 will be dwarf. You have to make a cross and show it. Number C, why is the F2 progeny different from the F1 progeny? Why is it? Why F1 progeny have both the traits capital T and small t? As tallness is dominant, that is capital T is dominant over the small dwarf trait small t. So F1 progeny exhibit dominant trait, that is tall, and dwarf trait remains hidden. In F2 generation, what it will show? It will show 3:1 phenotypic ratio. So the F2 generation did not did have in fact one, that is pure tall capital T is to 2, hybrid tall capital T small t is to 1, pure dwarf small t. So you have to make a cross and show all this. Understood? So these are the questions which you will write in your biology classwork copy. Okay, till this much today. Thank you.